Hello there. Good evening. This is Culture Train on Spirit of Nigeria Radio, and we're reaching you from Culture Town. Spirit of Nigeria Radio is where we bring the Nigerians and Africans in diaspora up to speed. And here we talk about culture, and we talk about people who are producing culture. We don't talk about politics, but occasionally we stray into the land of politics. We don't talk about hush puppy. Occasionally we slip into hush puppy line or hush Kiari, as somebody just said this afternoon. Well, welcome. This is just Culture Train, and the train is about to set up. A short break, and then by the time I return, we're starting right away. But let me quickly acknowledge people that I've seen here. My own very, very people who arrived so early. Dr. Kunle Adeyemi, painter extraordinary, university teacher, lecturer, activist, advocate, everything combined. Dr. Kunle Adeyemi, you're welcome. And I've seen my brother too, Mr. Moses Oyemokari. Well, you cannot talk about producing or curating visual arts program in Nigeria without talking about Moses Oyemokari. He's a legend in his own right. Having worked for so many years at Quintessence, some of us met him while we were just students in the university. Moses Oyemokari, you're welcome. I can see you in the Zoom house. The poet, Sage Hassan, or Sage Hassan, as I like to call it. Poet extraordinaire. I mean, the one who has pushed the spoken word all over the world. And I always tell people, because I say this thing, and if it's not right, people can correct me. I say that Moses actually started the formal recording of spoken word on CD. The very first time local boy that I am, that I'll be seeing spoken word on CD was through Sage Hassan, and that was even before Kofi Ayidoho of Ghana did it, or Dr. Tony Mario of Ibadan. Sage, thank you very much for being there.
Thank you, sir.
And I saw Taye Erewele, but she's no longer there now. I'll look for her. And Oriade Shegun Fila is there. All of you, you're welcome. I want to start on a very sober note, so that's why I want to take just a little breather so that I can do that, and then we get, because it's been a week of tragic consequences for us in the art house, and I would like to pay tribute to them. So I'll just take a short break now. I'll disappear, then I'll reappear in 2 minutes to be able to pay the tribute, and then we can start while we're here today. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hello again. This is Culture Train reaching you from Spirit of Nigeria Radio, and we bring the Nigerians and African in diaspora up to speed. For those who are just joining us for the first time, we broadcast more to the outside world, even though we have a lot of Nigerians listening. But if you go to our website, you see that we deal more with people who are outside of this place, because we want to encourage them to become part of the family. And I mentioned that I will be starting on a very somber note, but let me again welcome Taye Erewele. Nice to see you, my sister. You were here earlier and then it disappeared. So you're welcome. We make this evening very interesting for all of us. But let me first of all pay tribute. And I'm going to ask both Sage and, you didn't prepare for this, Sage and Shegun Adefila to do something special for me. Let me tell you what I'm saying this. This week, we've lost 3 members of our creative community. These are people who have names that we know, but we may not be very conscious of them because because of the way our life has become in the last almost 2 years now because of the COVID. Well, I think last Saturday actually, we lost Dr. Shino Vincent Ayodele. Shino Ayodele is a theater designer. He's one of the very few people I know who you could call, you could wake him up in the middle of the night and he will come out and produce for you a set. He just finished his PhD a few months ago. He has not even collected the certificate. Then he has been deleted, as the comedian like to say. That is one. I feel very, very bad that we have to lose someone so resourceful just after he just got his PhD. He has not even collected the certificate. He left. That's one. During the week, Fela Day, when we talk about Afrobeat, especially those who brought Afrobeat, high life, and African jazz into one room, Fela Day was one of them. I know him very well because he produced an album for Ben Tomoloju when we were producing the album almost about 30 years ago. And Fela Day just left. And I feel very, very bad that Fela Day, because for a long time he vanished and then all of a sudden he got deleted. And now, today, just as I was doing my research for this program, trying to study who Juliet is, who Adeyemi is, Rachel Oniga. I've been very, very pained about Rachel Oniga because I've been on the same set with her. I've been on the same screen, on the same television program with Rachel Oniga. And we didn't hear about Rachel for some time, even though we know he was on TV and all of that. And then he just left. But if you check on television, you'll be seeing a lot of Rachel Oniga program. In fact, the last Lagos Theatre Festival, he was in one of the Aba Women Riot, the play they did on Aba Women Riot. Rachel Oniga played a major role with Gloria Young and the rest of them. And just this morning, Rachel left. What is going on? Artists are not known to be involved in this corrupt ethos that is ruling our life. But then they always seem to be the one to first succumb to exiting, to pressure. And so, Sage, I know you are listening to me, but before I do that, let me first of all welcome Juliet, who is a superstar for today. Juliet, welcome. I don't know if you all can speak back because please unmute yourself. You can, because you're all muted and then I can't hear anybody. I feel I'm talking to myself. This is a family show.
No, we're listening to you.
I'm here. I can hear you clearly.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you.
I can hear you clearly. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, we can hear you clearly.
Oh, okay. Juliet, you
can hear you, sir.
Okay, you hear you. Yes. Thank you.
Can you hear me too clearly, sir?
I hear you. You will not hear Doctor of the Prince of Ondo. Okay. The story of Akimogo, and then you'll be in trouble. Everybody will asking you.
It's a long train. We'll be there for a long time. What on?
Yes. I just want to pay tribute to these three people who lost this week. I don't know if Paige, if there's something you can like just to the great so that they can find that stage after you. It's impromptu. Paige?
Yeah, I can't hear you. What was the last thing you said, sir?
Yeah, I was saying that we lost three people this week in the creative sector, and I was saying just do anything impromptu. You're a poet. Poets are known to be eclectic, so anything that you want to do, if you are not ready, Shagari Flag can go on.
Uncle German.
Hey.
Impromptu. I don't remember the last time I did impromptu, but let me do something that I did a bit. Because for me, I among these people, the one that was closest to me was San Sultan, whom you did not mention.
Sam Sultan last week, yes.
Exactly.
I was dealing with this. I did it last week for him. Yes.
Last weekend we had a what's it called? We had a
tribute
for him.
Yeah,
where we gathered and then we sang songs and made speeches and poetry for him.
Yeah. No, go ahead. Go ahead. Even for Sam Sultan.
So sorry. Well, so what I did for Sam Sultan, and let me just think. I just chanted. I just went, Obatala, Yemoya, the sun god, the moon god, music god, flower god. Yeah, yeah. What happens when a man dies? What comes forth if the man lives? Yeah, man.
No, even that is good. I mean, it's in the spirit. Yes.
You know,
Let me ask you,
so this is not a tribute for the dead. This is a tribute for life.
Thank you.
This is not about those who died, but this is about the life that they lived, that we still have a handle to, that we still continue to benefit and live off of. So this is not about death. This is about life. This is about good. This is about the lines and the stars that speak about our lives and our destinies. All right.
Thank you very much, Sir Jason. You know, we're Africans and our life is continuous. There's no difference between the dead and the living. So, you know, our life is in a circle. So I like what you have just done. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And Shegun Adefila, who is also very close. You know, Shegun did a lot with Sam Sultan. Even did a special tribute for him at the Art Factory in Bariga. And it's also, he knows about Fela Day, he knows about Rachel Oniga, Vincent. Shegun Adefila, please. Hello, Shegun. If you can unmute. Okay. Hello, Shegun. Yes, go ahead, please.
Yes, please tell me what I'm supposed to do.
Oh, no. Okay, I thought you listened to me. I was saying that we lost, I've just been reminded about Sam Sultan, who is your bosom friend. Okay. We lost Dr. Shino Ayodele. Of course, you know him from Lasso. Then we lost Fela Day, the Afrobeat, Afro Highlife, Afro Jazz musician. And then we just lost Rachel Oniga. And I'm saying, as Africans, we have a way of paying tribute to this because we're all poets. I said, you should just do something short for their soul so that they're welcome to their home, their new home, their ancestral home.
Yay! I don't want to cry, I can only laugh. That's the only tribute I can pay now.
Okay.
So I'll do it in Yoruba. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Well, we pray for their soul. We pray for the repose of their soul. Even though I'm not taking them now, let me especially welcome everybody to this particular session because it is especially dedicated to those of you who are producing culture. Life is ebbing away. The Delta variant is spreading like wildfire. We lost 8 people between last night and this morning. It's the biggest fatality that Nigeria has suffered in recent time. 8 people died, and 500 and something new cases of the Delta variant of coronavirus. But we cannot continue to mourn. We'll just be celebrating those who are alive. And I'm happy that the crew from Art Rising are here because you are celebrating life. You're actually doing a festival, and festivals are supposed to be to rejuvenate our life. Festivals are supposed to bring us back to life. So welcome to Culture Train on Spirit of Nigeria Radio, where we bring the diaspora up to speed. So we're talking about life here. Art Rising is here, Art Rising Festival, and then EKO Theatre Carnival. So I love to celebrate festival, and that's why we're all here. So let me start this way by mentioning things that are happening currently that we need to pay attention to. Last night, we finished the Nigeria International Book Fair Trust. It started on July 27 and ended July 29, but last night was the final ceremony. It was a big event, in fact, the biggest event of the Book Fair Trust since it started. It was huge. Unfortunately, Nigerians were not able to attend. I don't know whether it was the fault of the organizers or the fault of the Nigerians who don't like to go anywhere, or the fault of the COVID, which seemed to be locking all of us down. May COVID just pack its load and go. In fact, Shegun, you will do that. COVID, Corona, pack your load and go. You will do it. whatever you can remember of it, you do it. So we also have the launch of Wale Okedion's Madagali, a book that, we've been saying that Boko Haram is happening. ISWAP is there. All the tragedies are happening. They are kidnapping our children. But we are not producing enough literature, enough material, enough visual art, enough literature, enough music, enough film to even document what is going on. You can imagine what happened in Iraq, Iran, Afghanistan when all these crises were happening. People were just producing. It's like it gingered the place and they produced a lot of work. But unfortunately, that's not what we are having. But Madagali is a book that is based on the community in Maiduguri, where soldiers invaded the place and what they did to the community, how they ravaged the community. So Wale Okediono was able to capture that in a novel that was launched yesterday. That's for cultural roundup, things that have happened. What is coming up? What is coming up? Tomorrow, Kola Ogunkoya will be opening, formally opening is who's talking there? I think I have to put the person out of action so that we can talk. You can mute your mic if you are not talking now. So we tomorrow Kola Ogunkoya will be opening his Bedu village. Actually, this launching on August 1 tomorrow was meant to have happened about 2 weeks ago, but then there was the rain, and the rain derailed the event. So it will now happen tomorrow. It's going to be a collage of superstars in music and comedy that's bringing together there. It's a space for artists, because I've been there. I know that it's even the space for visual artists to exhibit. There's a space for poetry, space for music. Sage, I hope you are listening to that. It's a space that we can all invade. I've taken the Adebantu there so that I can restart its Afropolitan there. And so that will be happening tomorrow. I may be calling callers as we go on. This afternoon, the Festival of Forgotten Films opened at the Nigerian Film Corporation. That's at the Nigerian Film Corporation in Obalende. I'd like to describe it as next door to Radio Nigeria, but it's between Radio Nigeria and the cemetery. So I don't know how you can imagine a film corporation between a radio station and it's a morbid place to. But it had been there long before the cemetery got there. But it's been there like in the 60s or so. So they opened what we call the Festival of Forgotten Films. And they will be screening film that you imagine, that you hear about, you reference them, but we never get to see them. Things Fall Apart is being shown. Kongi Harvest is being shown. All these films that we've all forgotten about, they are all being shown at the Festival of the Forgotten Films. Didi Chika, my brother, my friend, is the curator. Next week, I think I should be able to bring Didi Chika here. But a lot of films. But please, if you can check Festival of the Forgotten Films on Facebook, or anywhere, you'll be able to see that it is going on, and so you can always be there to see the films. I know that tomorrow is a packed day because Tamfiofori, nearly octogenarian Tamfiofori, will be speaking on the foundation and pioneers of the Nigerian film industry. And if you know Tamfiofori, Juliet, I'm sure you know Tamfiofori very well. He did that fantastic film about you. Tamfiofori will be he'll be presenting his film. He'll be presenting his talk tomorrow. And after that, there will be the Kongi Harvest that will be screened. Kongi Harvest featuring Wale Soyinka and directed by O.C. Davis. And other films will be showing tomorrow. But you need to get on the Facebook for Festival of the Forgotten Films, and you'll be able to see. The festival is curated by Modern Art Film Archive, Nigerian Film Corporation, Lagos Zone, and Didi Chika. So it's happening at, I'm going to be there to see some of those things. They had an opening yesterday, and the opening, they also had an exhibition at Tinubu Square. I couldn't make it, but a lot of people went there said it was great. That you could go to Tinubu Square and you see pictures of, like, they were simulating the scene that was shot, or the scene that was shot at the Tinubu Square. I think I like this kind of concept, where the environment interact with the arts and vice versa. So let me get to why we're here today. We're talking about art You know, we always like to talk about art that is making serious intervention in our creative life, and so we're talking about art for social societal advancement. I wanted to use the word intervention, but I said no. Let's use advancement. Maybe that will get to all of us. We are producing art that are making societal, paving the way for societal advancement. Actually, they are interventions, really. So we talk about EKO Theatre Carnival, which Shegun Adefila is going to explain to us, because I know that ETC has a way of bringing the community together. That's for communal gathering, and then empowering them and making them to, to express themselves and to use their art in the advancement of the society. I remember one edition that I attended where one woman was saying that every time they did the ETC, there's a theater carnival, they make a lot of money. That the money is enough to finance, to help her to send her children to school. And these are mothers and fathers. They make this kind of statement, but we don't pay attention to those kind of statements. But I remember that as a reporter reporting Oshobo Festival then, you see families who tell you that it is the money they make every year from Oshobo that enable them to live a proper life. I don't know if I'm saying the right thing, but that's the kind of impression I have. So we'll be debriefing Shegun Adefila shortly after I've done this my introduction. So we will then get to the larger segment of the thing. The second festival that we're spotlighting is Festival for Professional Growth. I don't really know what brought Juliet into this, because Juliet is always known to be this serious painter. She doesn't have time for rabble rousers like us, so we don't even know how to approach her. But then she came up with this Art Alliance 51 with her friends and associates and colleagues, and then they're launching the Art Horizon Festival. And she's been on this project for weeks now, trying to produce this. So we'll be debriefing some of the people who are participating there. Juliet is there, Dr. Kule Adeyemi is there, Taye Erewele, whom I've not seen for a long time, and then Sage Asson. You'll be talking about this. And you know what? There's somebody I just saw in the house now that I'm going to stampede to help me with, because she helped me with Jelili Achiku. So, Malara would welcome. I think you're in trouble this evening for joining. The word they said that you don't go to an old man's house in free of charge. And okay. They will tell out to is there. So they will all help me to put mouth so that we can debrief the people in the Art Horizon Festival. I love the title Art Horizon because it's the decade of Africa rising. And there's a lot of things about Africa rising, Art rising, and co. I know now you're starting Art Horizon. I don't know if you have linked them, but that's the way I've linked them in my head. Okay. So without much ado, I don't want to take a break so that people don't stroll away. This is Culture Train on Spirit of Nigeria Radio, where we bring Nigerians and African in diaspora up to speed. And we are talking about art for societal advancement. I will be talking to Shegun Adefila for EKO Theatre Carnival and the crew from the Art Horizon Festival from Art Alliance 51. So let's start it this way. Shegun Adefila. Hello, Shegun. You can unmute, please.
Okay. Hello.
Yeah. Let me spotlight you so that people can see you. Hello.
Yes,
you start your video?
Yes, I'm actually on the road.
Oh, so that's why you don't want. Okay, you can speak. Okay, but you can see you.
No, I'm fine now. I've packed. Yes.
Oh, okay. Okay, go ahead, please.
Yes.
Yeah, Shegun
So to talk about the festival.
Uriade. EKO Theatre Carnival starts on the 2nd.
Yes.
Okay, so can you lead us into that? That's just in 2 days' time. What is EKO Theatre Carnival? I know, but people who are listening in the diaspora may not know. Those of us on the Zoom may know because we seem to be in a family here. But go ahead, please.
So in 2016, Crown Troop clocked 20 years. And we thought that how we were thinking of how to canonize all that we've been doing over the years. Okay. And we said, listen, there was a time, during the split of the military regime, theater wasn't happening the way it is happening now. So we observed a kind of a nonsense from the beginning of the 21st century. And we said, okay, so since theater is happening in many places now, because I remember that we are not pioneers. I mean, there were people doing so many things before us. I mean, kind of fizzled out. So things were not, theater wasn't happening you would have it now. I mean, this weekend, I know that there will be theater performances happening in about at least 5 places alone. You know, so that's okay. There's so much happening where we can create a platform for all of this to come together. Theater Carnival will be that time of the year where we call our friends, bring out the finest of their works and let's put them on display for a week. We also said it shouldn't be just about the practice alone. We should also consider looking, interrogating the intellectual, or if you like, the theoretical framework of. So the first 2 days of EKO Theatre Carnival is a seminar and performances, and we've had distinguished practitioners. We've had Papi Ben, the late Professor Sophie Oluwole, Professor Laiwola, Professor Remiraji, Dali Baba last year, and this year, being 20, go back home. So I went to the University of Lagos where I called my teacher, mentor, and father to come and speak to the topics we have on
Okay.
theater practice in Nigeria, an overview of theater practice in Nigeria, and then Professor Tuji, we've been having his own talk on, again, a historical had been today, but tracing it back to the days of Ogunde and ruler Dikpo. And so it's like we're passing debating from one generation to another, just to shed light on the practice and how it is done. The reality we're facing today probably wasn't the reality the ruler Dikpos and the Ogundes faced. On realities too. So that's what we're doing for the first 2 days. And so for 8 performances, but the first 2 days will be seminar and performance, and we've invited over 20 groups to be performing, dance, music. In fact, with the music concert on the 8th, and this music concert will be headlined by no less a person himself, but then there will be alumni of Crown Troop to music now. They all have their own bands now. Perform too.
Okay. Okay. Well, thank you very much. So, I mentioned that the kick for me in your festival is the communal engagement, the way you try to bring the community together, the community in Bariga. We like to admit that the community in Bariga is the most, is underserved, according to what Pastor Itwa Godalo told Governor Sanwo-Olu of Lagos. But you use this festival to galvanize them. What has been the impact with the community? How do you conceive the festival in the context of the environment where it is happening?
Yes, the idea, we started by saying we want to have a festival that belongs to the people. The community session of the festival, like they're asking when is the next one. So this, for instance, a huge percentage of the community is prepared and waiting for it because they are used to, they like the merriment, and the number of people that will come, the number of artists that they will be interfacing with. So what EKO Theatre Carnival has done to the Bariga community is this harnessing not only of the talents that are bound in the community, also presenting to the community what they own, what they've always had, that we've never had something presented to them. So it's a kind of we are look at it and be like, this is ours.
Okay.
Because they've taken possession of it together, the old, the young, and those who are not interested in sitting down to say, okay, I think I like, and I would like to see it again.
Okay. Okay. Well,
The hope is that,
let me. Okay. Go on.
the hope is that it's changing the narrative of what Bariga used to be known for.
Do you know
Bariga,
you have Jumoke Oni bread behind you? Somebody is peeping behind you. Can I just say hello to her? Hello, baby. Okay, I can see. Hello. Hello, baby. That's Jumoke Oni bread.
yes,
Okay.
we have that.
Hi,
Okay.
John.
Oh, how are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
Yeah, nice to see you. Yeah, you're part of the festival anyway.
Yes.
And I didn't realize that you do this show every
Yeah, I do it every Saturday. Yeah, thanks for the Jalila Atiku one. Yes, yes. The Adebantu one. Maybe we'll get back to you while you are still in the car since you are driving. Dr. Kole Adeodutola, all the way from Florida, I would like to engage you, Shegun Adefila. And I would like him to actually reflect himself and Dr. Adeyemi, all of them were there, Monara Wood. I mean, let's first of all give meat to this art for social advancement, for societal advancement. Is it really happening? Oga Moses, not bad. Anybody who is there, say it. Is theater, can art actually help societal advancement? Because that's what Shegun is saying in the article I read today. Dr. Adeodutola, please, if you are ready.
Yeah, thank you very much indeed. Mr. Adefila, the Oriade, I'm sure that you have also you have monitored how you have brought Bariga onto the cultural map of Lagos State. And there is no way in which we can talk about the Crown Troop without talking about your effort in placing Bariga on the cultural map of Lagos State. Now, my interest is in the economy and the businesses in Bariga. Has there been any way in which you have brought in the businesses in Bariga to collaborate with you? Or is there anybody who is monitoring the effect of your coming to Bariga and placing Bariga on the cultural map? I'll tell you this. Once we all were at a conference in the United States of America, and on the screen was Shegun Adefila promoting Bariga through the documentary done by Mr. Femi Odupemi, the Ogun and Shongo of documentary making in Nigeria. So my question to you and what I want you to reflect is, has there ever been a way in which you have brought together small businesses or the tailors and the fabricators in Bariga together to let them see what you're doing and how what you're doing is affecting their business? I hope that's not a PhD question.
We attempt to answer it, sir. First and foremost, I feel honored that I'm on this platform with eminent people like you around. Yes, we just try to, and our ultimate hope is that the community and even the government can see the economic potential we're doing. When COVID-19 happened, more adventurous artists who have more courage than I do decided to veer into other things. Started selling food by the roadside. Some are into all sorts of businesses, and they are the first ones to. Now that you mentioned it, I just thought about it. They are the first ones to say, "Bros, what about vendors? Can we bring our products to the festival?" I wasn't thinking of the festival on that scale, but I was like, "Okay, this is something." I said, "Why not?" So that is there, but it's all based on our effort. So the kind of attention you're talking about, we've not gotten because the relevant authorities appear not to understand the power or I mean this soft power, the idea of what soft power means, they appear not to understand what this can bring to the table. So we are left to do it on our own. And if you ask me what has sustained what we've been doing for over 2 decades, is keeping our noses out of the business part of it. Because if you put business into it and you want to practice in Nigeria, you will just fold up. It doesn't add up business wise. Except you are an astute business person, which I am not. I'm just an artist. We just want to make our art. But when people say you have to think about the business part of it, I say, but it leaves the room for more employment, because the business people can step into what we are doing and make a business out of it. So that's what we are hoping for, so that the artist can just be an artist and be able to reach our potentials, while the business people can say, you know what, these are the things we can bring to the table. We can make this economically viable for you. But I mean, if you ask me, if I'll be sincere with myself, it's not my forte. What I want to do is have people sit down and enjoy good theater, listen to good music, see beautiful works of arts on exhibition. It's some activities are going on, but I'm not at home now. I hope so. There are a lot of things going on within the art factory right now that I wish the world can see. But hey, we can only do all we can. Thank you, sir.
I'm not surprised, and that's why I'm raising an issue like this, because when you're in the company of people like Dr. Adeyemi, Dr. Filani, and all the doctors we have in the house have emptied on this program, it's one of the things that we all need to do, because I'm sure a little survey of how people get to the festival will be an interesting one. The amount of money that they are pumping into Bariga is one of the empirical data that will be needed, if not by you, by some other concerned intern or a young person that you can bring in that can do that kind of work, so that they know that they're benefiting something from you, and in return, you should be able to benefit something from them. So having talked about that, let me quickly move on to the content. Shego is known for his innovative choreography. In fact, I think you have a signature for your choreography where
hello, Dr.
bodies.
Dr. Adeola. Yeah, I wanted to say that the question you were asking Shegun just now, we have to repeat it when we get to Art Horizon, because it's also very vital for what they are trying to do in Art Horizon. So I just want you to hold that question, but you're going to repeat it to Juliet and the crew. But go ahead with concluding the Shegun.
Okay. I just and I would let you be now, but having been a very biased follower of Segun Adefila's form of dramatic representations, the content is always like, yes, instead of props, and correct me if I'm wrong here, I think Segun prefers to use bodies to make props and structures on his stage, and that allows for easy production of the Adefila kind of theater, of dance. What I would like to know is, what influences you in your creative process? How do you create all of this? And most of them are always socially relevant. They're the kind of things that you watch and you are inspired. There are a few times in which I have seen some of your productions and I wish I had a stone and I can actually throw it at the head of one of the leaders. But yeah, I haven't been able to summon that courage to do that. But what I want to find out from you is, what has been your inspiration and creative process, and how did you determine to produce in this way as opposed to any other way? Do you get my question?
Hello, Shagun.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So first and foremost, I come from a traditional masquerade background, and one of the functions of the masquerade is the masquerade used to be what we call today an essential worker. So in times of tribulation, the masquerade comes out. In times of triumph, the masquerade comes out to say prayers, and when it's against the community, the masquerade comes out. When the king goes against the people, the masquerade is the only one that has the effrontery to confront one who no one dares question. The masquerade had the power, the traditional power to do that. So we're borrowing from that intellectual tradition to that's what inspires what we do and how we do it. So we can't afford art just for the sake of art, where we've lived all our life in the same space, and there are things. The education 20 years ago in Nigeria is not what it is today. Everything 30 years ago is not. So where it is social commentary, that's why when people say, hey, if you're an artist in Nigeria, you are, because you don't have to think too much to have a story to tell. The stories are just there around you all the time.
Every day.
So
the Hush Puppies and Co.
Of course, and you can see the association. Hush Puppies started calling names. I'm hoping it doesn't call Uncle Jama's name.
Don't be too sure.
When is that compound rooming with the rats in a compound, and that's a strong method I'm thinking of exploring, for instance, so these things are just there, out there. Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you very much. Dr. Odutola, please don't go away, because you are going to help me with this next one. Shagun, so what is happening? Okay, Monday we start with the seminar, right?
Yes, the seminar is on Monday
and Tuesday.
And it's going to be moderated by Professor Femi Oshofison.
Wow, you brought all the masquerades out. Okay.
All the fathers. It's like that says, for me, they are being around. They are accepting to come to speak to us. Just gives me so you can't be a businessman and understand what I'm talking about here.
Yes.
You must be an artist, because for me, this is worth billions of dollars to me. That a drone who taught me in school as a child is coming to speak at an event we are organizing. A question of Professor Femi Oshofison's caliber is traveling all the way from Ibadan to come and endorse children like us. For me, that's the real cash in the bank.
Okay. Well, we wish you a successful festival. So if people want to get information about the festival, where do they have to go? Because we have a lot of people listening off Zoom.
Yes, we have a website that we're just setting up now that we should have, but of course, somebody just came to our rescue now to put it up for us. So I'm going to, maybe I should just send it to you.
So I'll read it out there. Okay.
It's EKOTheaterCarnival.com.
Oh, simple. EKOTheaterCarnival.com. Okay. Please, listener out there, it's EKOTheaterCarnival.com, and then you can follow the 8-day or 7 days program of EKO Theater Carnival. And of course, Shagun Adefila is very active on social media. He's on Facebook, even though his Twitter has been cancelled. But we don't want to talk again. And meanwhile, the children are enjoying Twitter, but we cannot enjoy Twitter. But we are live we are there on Instagram and on Facebook, and so you can follow Shagun Adefila. And most of the performances and events are live. You transmit them live on YouTube and Facebook, right?
Yes. We are going physical and digital.
Physical and digital. You were the one that started the real life and virtual.
Yes.
Now you've gone to another one. Yes. Okay. Keep on inventing. Well, to sign us out now, give us the corona, because I know you are on the road. Give us the corona. Pack your load. Whatever you can remember from, because I want to transit to Art Arising.
Okay. Dear coronavirus, how you dey today? I hope say you don't dey pack your bag, go pack. You don't try, you hear? Your harvest na halele. See as you turn tears to akamu and fear to moi moi. I beg people don't belleful. Dear coronavirus, tell Mother Earth say we don't hear. Make she no vex, even though she get reason to para. Tell am say we no get sense. We don't F up, and this koboko virus, dear coronavirus, even though you dey show us wetin soap dey show eyes, me I know say na we use our small hand collect big one, because na jeje you dey go when you see say we don kpai our megad. Na im you branch with pepper eye drop to treat our looking but not seeing eyes. I beg, mercy, temper with justice. Come and be going. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Shegun. But I hope you are not dropping off because we might still have to come back to you.
No, I'm here.
But you're on the road.
Yes, I'm
okay.
listening.
Okay.
I'm listening.
Thank you so much. Yeah, that was Shegun Adefila, the founder director of Crown Troop of Africa and festival director for EKO Chapter Carnival, leading us into what will be happening for the next 8 days, right? From Monday, when EKO Chapter Carnival will be running. They have seminar, they have performances, they have fashion show, they have workshops, and a lot of people are going to make some kind of living out of this festival. It's a festival that helps to galvanize the community, bring them together, and also give them economic capacity. I'm going to ask Dr. Adeyemi later to speak to this whole idea, because you are teaching some young people, this whole idea of using the art to mobilize the community and give them some kind of empowerment, political empowerment, social empowerment, economic empowerment. But that will be later when we have gotten into Art Horizon. And so Shegun, we'll be back with you. Thank you so much. On culture trade. Now we're on the second leg of while we're here. Another festival of different dimension. Someone said that festivals are actually the palm oil with which Africans live our life, because we're people of festivals. That's why we do our festivals in the open air, because the festival help to bring the community together, and that's when everybody bring their way to the marketplace and everybody celebrate. There's no gate fee when they're doing African festival, but we're in the modern world, so we have to be doing, we have to be adjusting to what is happening in the new world. So Art Horizon by the Art Alliance 51 crew. Juliet, my sister. Hello, Juliet.
Hello, good evening, everyone.
Good evening. How are you? I'm trying to locate you so I can spotlight your face.
Okay.
Okay, I think I've seen you, but you are not. Is your video on?
Yes, it is.
Okay, because I can't seem to. Okay,
Hello.
let me do this. Let me remove Shegun and then try to add you there. Spotlight, but I can't see you. Okay. Well, let me start and then I'll show your face later. I'm trying to pin your face to the thing, but it's not coming up. But don't worry, it's the village people. Well, you're welcome. And while welcoming you, let me welcome again Taye Erewele and Dr. Kule Adeyemi.
Thank you.
Sage Hassan, Mozuri Mokare, and a lot of the people who are in the Art Alliance 51. It's a huge group, and all of them are here to give support. And some of them are also listening offline to this. Art Horizon is new. Juliet, what is the big idea about Art Horizon? And while you're answering that, let me also add, what is going to be the new thing that Art Horizon is bringing? Because as you know, we have a lot of festivals, even for visual art. They don't call them festival, but they call them, for so many years was the chairman of SNA Lagos, and they had October Rain. They had art exhibitions all the time. They even have the Art Expo. Yeah. This is Art Horizon, dedicated to the visual arts, and then you've added performances. So I'm curious, what is the new deal that Art Horizon is bringing to the table?
Okay, hello everyone.
Good evening.
Good evening, everyone. You know, Art Alliance 51, Artists Collective, It's not just a collective of visual artists alone. As a matter of fact, some of the founding organizations who teamed up with the visual artists to establish it are actually writers and authors and publishers. And so we formed Art Alliance 51. However, the Art Horizon Art Festival was designed for visual artists. But as visual artists, we are open-handed, and so since we are celebrating our creative efforts, we decided that we're not going to celebrate all alone. We are going to invite our friends, brothers, sisters, families to join us. And we don't want to be a selfish group. And so we created our platform and invited other aspects of the arts, the creative arts, to celebrate with us. So we have, apart from art exhibitions going on, we have discussions, we have poets reciting, spoken word artists reciting their work, performing their works. And so we have workshop for children. We even have a day set aside for gender sensitization. And because Nigeria is going through serious security challenges, we have a day set aside where security experts are going to talk to us about keeping safe and what we should know or should be aware of concerning personal security. And so we've created a 2-week event-packed program. We hope that we can all benefit in one small way or the other from this festival.
Okay. Thank you very much. That was a good keynote on it. I forgot to ask you about the date. What are the dates before I move to either Dr. Adeyemi or Taye Erewele? What are the specific dates? Yes.
The festival opens on the 21st of August and will be on till the 3rd of September.
Okay. Thank you very much. Let me ask Taye Erewele. Hello. Okay. Thank you.
I can hear you.
Yeah. Good evening.
Good evening. Good
Yeah,
evening, everyone.
yes. So at Arising, what role are you going to be playing there, and how do you see yourself in the setup of things? Because it's a huge group. Art Alliance is big. Many of you are going to be part of the Art Horizon. So how do you see yourself, your work, and your production fitting?
Okay, I would say that I'm part of the puzzle,
Okay.
and the puzzle has many parts that must fit to make sense. So again, I'm Taye Erewele, I'm a painter, and as an artist, I'm a social being. Every artist is a social being. In fact, every human being is a social being.
Yes.
And we depend on each other, the interactions and the collaborations of each other to thrive. So if Juliet had come and said, "Oh, I want to do this alone," variety is the spice of life. It would be interesting, but to make it even more interesting, she had, to get other pieces of the puzzle together, like Dr. Kundevi and the other artists are performing as well. And again, my role here is, again to loud it. I'm a creative person. Yes,
Okay.
yes. I'm a creative person, and I'm an agent of change. I have a message. My art encompasses a message. Messages, I would say, experiences of myself, of people, and things happening around me. And so I'm that piece of the puzzle, that makes the whole thing complete.
Okay. So many takeaway from you. Agent of change, piece of the puzzle, and I'll still come back to you. Thank you very much. Okay. Juliet said this is for all of you, and you have a poet in the house, Sage Azan, and I'm trying to understand how you can fit the poetry into the visual art, because Art Horizon, from the way I can see the number of people who are involved, you have more visual artists than you are going to have poets performance, for instance. So I want to understand what Sage has to say about that. So what do we expect from the poet? What is your role there, and how do you fit your performance poetry into art alliance, art arising, even though she's been explained
Okay.
Go ahead. Yes. Go ahead, please.
Actually, I think I happen to just be the face of the poets that are participating in Art Rising. We have a number of young poets who have made short videos, so that they short pieces. Some have read from we have poets from South Africa to other parts of Nigeria who have done some short length of poetry, some up to 3, some 2, some 3 minutes, some 10 minutes. And while the exhibition is ongoing, the videos of these performances are supposed to be streaming live on a screen somewhere there. So that's what we're doing doing events where the majority of the poets will not be on ground, but they're participating using video. So that's what's going to happen. So I think there are over 10 or 20 poets who have recorded short pieces that will be streamed live. So I think the video editor, and Juliet, I think are in charge of that. What I've done mainly has been to get these pieces, to recruit these poets, get these pieces together, and then hopefully during the festival itself, some of these people will be there in person to perform, but everything will be on screen. Most of it will be on screen.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
In conceiving of program for the art, we always talk about inter-art conversation.
Right.
Most of the time, you don't have literature talking to film or film talking to, poetry and the rest of them. So how do you see this? How do you explain this? Anybody can take this up, including Juliet. This inter-art conversation dialogue that ought to be happening. That some people will just say I'm a visual artist, they just stay there. Someone say I'm a poet, they just stay there. But to bring them together and have this art talking to each other, that's what I find very fascinating about this. And you want to speak for us on that?
The very funny thing. Let me quickly the very funny thing is I feel that there is 1,000 pictures in every word. So I believe that in every poem there is an art exhibition. In every poetry there's like 1,000 pictures. There's art in every poetry. But unfortunately, like you said, we have not been doing this interconnectivity, interrelationship. But it is something that I am very proud of Art Arising for considering this aspect, saying, you know what, we're all artists, we just have different ways of expressing it. So this is really a brilliant first step towards curating that kind of relationship subsequently.
Okay, thank you very much. Well,
yes, sir.
So Juliet was out. No, I was trying to get her. Well, let me ask Dr. Adeyemi. The overall concept of this looks like you want to make all the art. Oh, Mara Wood has her hand up. Let me take her first.
Okay, please.
Hello, Mara Wood. Go ahead. Go ahead. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, go on.
Can I talk now?
Yeah, go on. Go ahead.
Okay, so from my understanding, from what Sage Hassan has said, he is the curator of the poetry component of the festival.
Yes.
And I just wanted to chip into your last question about this interdisciplinary or intergenre or conversation between the arts. I think that exists inherently anyway, because you have a lot of painters who are inspired by literature, by stories, by folk tales. You have poets who are inspired by paintings and so on and so forth. So I think that dialogue is always taking place. It's just that a festival like this is conscious about, is intentional about actually facilitating it in a way that we all cannot, that no one can ignore. That's all I wanted to say.
Okay, yeah, thank you very much. In fact, most of our painters are actually poets. If you think of,
Indeed. Yeah.
in fact, quite a lot of them. And so, yeah, the festival programming is now what has to bring them together. Because sometimes you
So my,
cannot
my
do
one question is
yeah.
whether, these poets, will they be accessible online also? Will people be able to, those who are not able to come to the festival physically, can they see these poetry performances on the internet for the organizers? That's my question.
Okay, Sage. Sage, the question is for you. Yeah.
Right.
Go on.
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, go ahead.
My question is really for Juliet. I believe that maybe there will be handles. I don't know if the visual performances will be streamed live. I don't know. I don't have much what's it called. I'm not privy to that level of engagement with the festival. My role is to just make sure that there were poets, and there's videos that will be seen.
Okay.
Now, I hope Juliet is listening. So I'm hoping that means that this event what this event will be broadcast as well. So if it's broadcast, definitely. But then I believe that when the thing is over, the string of poetic performances on video will be presented in some way or the other, whether on YouTube or Facebook or some other place, as as a takeaway, take home from the festival. I believe that's going to be possible, because we will not delete the videos when we're done. I just do not know if it's going to be a live presentation of the festival as well.
Okay.
Yes,
Hello,
sir.
Juliet.
I think Juliet is off now because of her battery or something like that.
Oh, okay. Okay.
If I
She's
could
trying
say
to
that sounds great, and we look forward to it. And clearly, some of the, poetry lends itself more easily for online presentation than visual art and so on and so
That's
forth.
right.
So we look forward to it. Thank you so much for that answer.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Juliet is back. Hello, Juliet. Hello, Juliet. Hello, Juliet.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, yes.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Juliet.
Hello?
Did you hear the question from Malara Wood and the answer from Sage?
Hello?
Hello, we hear you. Go ahead.
We can hear you.
Okay. I didn't hear any questions. Sorry, my ran off to quickly do the Nigerian thing, put on the rate and quick. Okay, so I'm back. I missed quite some.
Malara, do you want to take the question again?
What was the question?
She was asking. Go ahead.
The question was, because Sage Hassan just talked about the poetry component, the fact that 10 to 20 poets from around the continent will feature as part of the festival, and that their videos will be running during the festival. So I was asking whether these performances would be accessible online also for people who are not able to physically attend the festival, whether there's an online component to those performances, and he did give some answer to that.
Okay, one of the challenges we addressed very early in the planning stage of this art festival was the fact that there are COVID restrictions everywhere, and we cannot gather the usual crowd that we expect at such an event. And so we already encountered that, and we decided we must have an online presence. And if peradventure, God forbid, we have to have a lockdown before the festival takes place, we wanted a festival that we can be 80% online, if that were possible. And so we went ahead to open a website. We have a website, www.artalliance51.com.ng. all the videos, all the performances, everything will be on our website. We have a YouTube channel, Art Alliance 51 YouTube channel. Some videos are already there, some content are already there. We have a Facebook page, Art Alliance 51 Facebook page. We've already put up some pictures, some videos, and so we will keep loading up a lot more content so that participants who are unable to physically be present can experience this festival. It's one of the points that really encouraged us to do this was the fact that we have poets and performance artists in our midst, and they have a lot of content which are very video friendly. And so we decided, okay, many of them said, oh, we cannot come, we don't live in Lagos, but we want to be part of it. And so they sent in their videos, and we are going to put them online, and so that visitors and enthusiasts who want to, be part of this festival can encounter them on these platforms.
Okay. So the video will be on the website. Can
Yes.
you repeat the website again, please?
www.artalliance51.com.ng.
NG. Okay, .com.ng. www.artalliance51. Yeah, .com.ng.
Yes.
Well, this is Culture
Yes.
Train, and those who are listening to us, you can see this festival. You can be part of this festival on www.artalliance51.com.ng. Dr. Kola Adeotola.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Jarman, and I'm very impressed by the effort and the initiative by Mrs. Juliet Majapers. This is a wonderful initiative, and it's sort of bring back to my mind the French salon of those days, in which the various arms of a creative enterprise would meet, the artists, the musicians, the dancers, and all, and they would interact and they would influence each other's works. And I have been thinking very, very deeply that the French salon model and idea replicated itself in the Umbari Mbayo. And now in 2021, we're now having Art Alive on a visual platform. And hopefully that it's not just each of these creative expressions coming on, but that there will be some kind of synergy and interaction and engagement by the poets with some of the visual work of the visual artists. Having said that, I remember 2 years ago when we were doing a project and we had to look for models. There is a village in South Africa where you have all of the professionals, creative professionals, all working together. And I want you all to, for a moment, just think, what would it actually be if we had a space in real life where dancers will be next to costume makers will be next to set makers will be next to playwrights will be next to visual artists, instead of the silos that we've had. Would it be possible to dream into the future using this as a leitmotif or as a springboard into the future? This is just one part of my intervention. I hope somebody can take it on.
Okay. Maybe Dr. Adeyemi, do you want to address that?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, go ahead, please. Please start your video. Let's see your princely face.
No light, no light, Papa. Papa, no
a prince does not have light in his house.
No. I don't want to call myself with the generator.
Go ahead, please. Go ahead.
The French salon that Dr. Adeotola mentioned is even just too far. The Ibadan experience or the Ibadan experiment, the University of Ibadan experiment, that's coordinated by Ulibea. I've had the likes of Wole Soyinka.
Yeah, Mbari. You're talking of Mbari Mbayo.
Mbari Mbayo.
The other, and that intermarriage then was actually very successful. And till now, all these people, their names are still written in gold. But at a particular point in time, there was a break. I wouldn't know. Are you hearing me, please?
No, we're hearing you. Go ahead. We can hear you.
At a particular point, at the particular point in time, there was a break in these cultures. I want to address this because the schools, that's the tertiary institutions, are actually guilty of this. You see, today, for instance, in my college, at the Yaba College of Technology, we have architecture, we have some of these other courses, fine art, and instead of them to come and borrow a lecturer, a service lecturer from the visual art, they will find a way, somebody will find a way of employing somebody who will be in that unit, and they will not relate with the visual art, the visual artist. The visual artist will not relate with them. So many things are going wrong now. In actually, I don't know whether it's a face-saving device to employ my own person or to do something or to believe that this interdisciplinary thing is not necessary. It's very, very necessary. I think we have to go back to the drawing board. Two, I want to appeal that if we can still continue to knock the door, there should be art villages coordinated or owned by local governments. In every area. For instance, if we have 20 local governments in Lagos, for example, and we have 20 art villages, all these units, all these other people, I mean, the theater artists, the performing artists, the visual artists, every one of us will find a way of going there, and then we'll do something. For instance, look at the Universal Studios of Art there. A lot is going on by just that small group of people. And apart from the economic sense of it, so many generations are benefiting from that angle. And that's self-sponsored. The government is not deliberate about developing the arts at that level. And so it's very unfortunate. The local government, the state government, and they continue to vote so much money, into these areas of art, and we don't see anything going on. The public servants will go there, collect pay at the end of the month, and go away. But if you ask for it, except if they have one thing or the other they want to do, and quickly they rush it and they go away. So we have actually been deceiving ourselves in this aspect of our lives. And the earlier we start running them down, or we start knocking the door, that this is, for this Art Alliance thing, this Art Rising Festival is supposed to be a festival that when we knock their door, we are supposed to get sponsorship from local government, from state government, from Ministry of Culture, from NGA. But if you ask Juliet now, none. Nobody is standing on. And these people, the lady has actually been going to them and all that. It's all promise upon promise. Are we really that bad, or really that poor that we don't know what to do? Something is wrong somewhere. So the cultural festival, and by the time the community, the Nigerian community, waited for us to do, people in academics and people in that have actually read and all that stuff, that they started their cultural festivals, Obanta Day, Ikole Day, Ekimogun Day. So they waited, and not much is coming forth. So they started something on their own, which means our society desires this type of thing. And the earlier we take up the branch, the better. So I want to plead that there was a time Cora started Art Stampede. In the Art Stampede, we used to exhibit, book launch, book festival, and so many things. And we discussed, unfortunately, the likes of German and Toya Kyoshona, I don't know whether na age they setting. But again, by the time we are introducing all these activities to these other younger ones, what they are asking, what they are looking for is money. Say, if money no come out from there, they no go there. So there's a trouble, there's a problem, but we can still address it. So this alliance, this art festival, when this lady mooted the idea, I say, wow, she got it. When we got in contact with her, I said, whatever it will take, because I have some of these activities have taken me abroad one time or the other, and I was telling myself this thing is not too difficult. But when she struck it, I said, well, I'm going to be part of this, and I pray that God will give us the enablement to continue to encourage this type of project, because it's very, very essential. Anyway, let me give room for other people to discuss further. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Ade. So much to unpack from what you have said. But you've gone really into the heart of why this kind of program is important. Because when we talk about art for societal advancement, you can't take those arts. I don't know who used the word silos. Okay, Dr. Ade Uditola. You can't let the arts exist in silos. Because as we say, in our traditional festival, all these arts, they come together. The masquerade is wearing costume, is wearing somebody's design. There's performance there. Everything is just included. And I like the fact that almost about the same month, you have EKO Theatre Carnival, then you have this. So the question that Morara asked earlier on, can Art Alliance, I know you have put that in context in what you just said, but I want Juliet to address that. I know she's also doing some other things. Can Art Alliance actually grow the project Art Horizon to become something like that, to look forward to, where the visual arts form the basis? Because from what Dr. Adeyemi was saying, from my experience, visual arts have been the one that's always almost outside of the circuit. And I remember what you said about the Lagos Book Art Festival then, that you were actually the curator for the exhibitions. Then Mr. Moses Orimokari will bring the quintessence. In those days, they will come and display textile and artwork and co. But every time when you have that festival, it's always difficult to get the visual artists. Maybe because it's a solo kind of work, to get them to be part of this. If you remember, in those days, you also have people who come to do pottery, Atuarinze, and they will come there. And if you go to the art councils, that's what you have. In every art council, you have all these units working together as one, which is what is not existing currently. Is this the kind of thing that Art Alliance will be looking at? Because it sounds to me, when you say Art Alliance, it could have some kind of pressure group kind of power that it could begin to, for instance, go to the universities and the Yaba Tech, those art final department, to see how the town and the gown can begin to meet. Is that the kind of thing that we should look forward to? For Juliet or for any one of you?
Okay, let me do my best.
Answer that.
Okay.
Okay. The visual artist, I don't know, for lack of a better word to describe them, they are eccentric. And so it is difficult to get them to take their eyes away from their canvas and face the real world. But I am hoping that myself, being a visual artist, would inspire them to, come out of their studio for a change, and that there is need for us to be more proactive. The same challenge everyone else has organizing them into an event is what I encounter. But I understand their peculiarity, and so I try, I do my best. I can only hope that by creating this platform, we can find a generation of visual artists who are more proactive, who will come into organizing these events, and hopefully we hope it might grow. We don't know for sure, but we're hopeful, and we're determined to put in all we've got to keep it going for as long as we can. Okay. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Anyone want to? Taye, do you want to respond to that? This dissonance between the visual artists and the rest.
Okay, I'd just like to go back to the beginning.
Okay.
In response to this discourse, when you talk about art is all encompassing. So from the very beginning in school, you get introduced to the branches of art, you get introduced to types and all of that, where you have creative and you have theater performing, and dramatical and music. Where the academic institutions got it all wrong, I'm coming back now to like the secondary elementary level, is the merger of creative music, creative arts, music, and visual arts together. These are different and they are unique under one umbrella. I think that this Art Alliance Festival is laudable because we are like siblings. And to be honest, in my own opinion, the bulk of attention has been given talking about support now to other sectors like music, like theater, for example. And the artists have strived on their own as organizations, as pressure groups, like you have the SNA, like you have Art Alliance, to voice out, to say, okay, we are here and we need recognition. If our government sees the use or the importance of this creative sector as a catalyst for societal advancement or progress, you will not try and shrink them into one subject. I think it's better that we come together, to fit in as the big picture. Like I said, puzzle, the example I gave of the puzzle, we are pieces of one big picture, and we come together. When we come together, we blossom. So I think it's a laudable feat for me, and we really hope that we get the attention we need. We want to pass a good message across. We need each other to thrive. We need each other. We are leveraging on creativity, our different strengths, our diversity, to thrive.
Okay, thank you very much. The point Dr. Adeyemi, because I would like to bring Shegun Adefly in again too. The point Dr. Adeyemi raised about what is happening in the university, it just occurred to me that while I was studying theater, I was wondering why we had to engage carpenters we have to hire carpenters from outside. When you have, even in the university there, you have a department, it's a department that dealt with carpentry, kind of woodwork, those things. And you still find that, they have to bring people who sew from outside. And, now the larger picture for me is between the town and gown, because we've been talking about that for a long time. How come that the university, Lagos, for instance, you have Yaba Tech, Unilag, you have LASU, and how come that there's no this close knit between them and the professionals who are outside? Because from what you have said, it is possible for the professional to move in and help, and it's also possible for the academic, those who are in the academic, to come out and help. I don't know if you get the drift of my question. Why is it that we don't have this working together, like relationship that can help? Hello, doctor. Hello. Hello.
Can I come in, sir?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, Dr. Adeyemi, yeah, go ahead. Yes.
Dr. Adeyemi, yes, sir.
Yes.
What happened really is has to do with the administrators in our faculties of arts, in art schools, the faculties, the administrators, people, those who achieved in the past. The Uche case, let me use visual art for instance. I'm not going to go to Femi Oshofisa and co. The Uche case, the Yusuf Grillo, they actually put in their own whole life, into this process. Knowing the fact that others will benefit. However, let me say this quickly. The system then encouraged them so much. Official quarters, official cars, chauffeur driven. They want to go abroad, it's easy. Everything is easy. They get so many things done. Today, it's actually a jumbuze thing. And the people who wants to administer the schools are actually going to be there for their pocket. I'll give you this instance, German. I just found out that at a point in time, visual artists were not celebrated in a big, grandiose way. And that brought me to when I was the dean of the School of Art, we had Oshino Clock 70. And I called all of you guys. German was there, not just as an invitation, but to partake in some of the programs. Bring us your idea. That idea that you have used in Stampede, we use it. We had a conference, we had seminars, we had portrait shops, had all these things put together. I was not looking for anything. I was looking for the success of the program, and it came and it's successful. I mean, although I'm yet to publish the papers now, but the papers are still on my drawing board. What I'm saying is that there are some people that actually are not interested in some of these things. And you know what? When somebody is trying to fill his pocket in any profession, particularly in art generally, if you are trying to fill your pocket, that pocket will be draining on a daily basis. You won't get it. But when you lose yourself and you want to try as much as possible to help the profession, the profession gets ears, it gets eyes. Yoruba will say ile many tí ó ṣe kíní kan. When you tọ́jú ilẹ̀, when you harness and you take care of the ground will favor you. So this, I pray that some of these good builders can actually come on board again. And we don't do it because you have a PhD. You don't have it because you have one master's degree somewhere. You don't have it because you've got genuine people. Each time I looked at the School of Art there, I told myself, by the time I was in, I'm not trying to bring up myself now, Yusuf Grillo built the physical structure. And I told myself I will build the intellectual structure in that system. And that the first time in the history of that school, we call an international conference. And so many things happened, and so many other things too happened. So what am I trying to say? What I'm trying to say is that we need to reback ourselves again in this art. I'm happy that Yoruba will say, if you think German is ended with a newspaper, it's a lie. It's gone to culture. If you think culture is the lie, it's gone to radio. If you think it's all the same area. So this is the type of life that we think we should live. For this lady now, this Juliet, I have continually assured her, I don't have that money, but I assured her that this project is bigger, is larger than life size. I have attended so many of it. I've attended something like that in Sweden. I've attended something like that in America, in several states in America. And they are big festivals, and we can actually make it big, and that is my take.
Thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much, Doctor. Sage, you have something to say, because I want to bring in other people who are in the Zoom room. Maybe we'll get one or two calls from outside.
Let other people speak. I'm still here.
Okay. Let me ask Mr. Moses, because Moses has been as I mentioned at the beginning, he has been part of curating the Lagos art scene for over 3 decades. He's done so many things. But Quintessence, when you enter Quintessence, which is set up for Madam Onokpaku, may God bless her soul. It's like the kind of thing we're talking about. You get in there, you see books, you see dresses, you see fine arts.
Right.
Occasionally they have performances.
Right.
You have music going on there, and that's the kind of thing we're talking. We just want it to manifest physically. Mr. Moses.
Yes.
Okay, sir. Go ahead, sir.
Good evening, all. I am glad to be a part of it. I've been here from the beginning, and I've enjoyed myself very well listening to listening to Juliet, listening to Taye, and all those who have spoken. They have spoken very well. Apparently, yesterday was Juliet's birthday, and I'd like to
Oh, we missed that.
congratulate her once again. Yes,
Happy birthday, Juliet.
yes. So now, I must confess that the festival thing is a very good idea. Indeed, it's something that art managers are thinking of doing. And so Juliet beat art managers to it. And so it's a good thing that this is happening. In fact, she's giving it a very wide dimension. We probably may not have thought of bringing other aspects of the art to it, but she has done that and she's doing it very well. And that's why I chose to give her a lot of support myself. I think there is that need for us to have that synergy, like all have said. There's need for us to see art as a big family, and there is need for us to continue to try and see how we can help one another. It's very important. I have been in the art for more than 3 decades, and I saw Aresuva, I saw Agan. We tried to see what we could do concerning this as well, but it wasn't that successful because it was being driven for money. People were more particular about what they could get out of it, and so it didn't help us. But those who have that drive, like Juliet, like Kunle Adiemi, coming together now, it gives one a lot of joy, and I hope that they will not, their joy will not be killed by
Amen.
anyone who is interested in trying to get us into that wahala of the past. I know that they will do well. I am giving it all the support. Apparently, I dragged Roland Ogiame, the
Yes,
octogenarian.
I saw his name there. Yes.
Yes. He will not be able to come, but I will be curating his works. So I dragged him in so that he can be a part of this, because he's a culture person. Though he's in Benin, but he will do a lot to give a lot of flavor to it. He will represent the older generation, and that is necessary because we have young people who will be coming to see these things, so they can see what the older generation have done, where they are coming from, and what we have today. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Moses. If you don't know, Moses Oyemokare is let me say it's how do I say it now? It's a big masquerade of Lagos art scene. As I mentioned, I actually met you as a young reporter just when I was starting my career in 1987. And I saw you, around the art, and then we become brothers ever since then. I you still look like I'm older than you. Now, Dr. Kole Adeoditola, please.
Well, one of the things that I find impossible is to listen to an observation and not move on to the next level. Dr. Kunle Adeyemi really made very valid points about the structure of institutions. Of course, we all know that the tertiary institutions we have were not designed to serve our society. They were designed, these are colonial legacies. But because they have, when somebody says, if it ain't broken, don't fix it. It has served the administrators, and so they're not fixing it. But let me offer, because I happen to be at the University of Florida, and what the University of Florida does is that they have what is called the Campus Creativity Connect. Campus Creativity Connect. And what that means is that every semester, somebody in languages, for instance, would write a proposal to spend a semester in the Department of Arts to see what is the intersection between language and fine arts. You could have somebody in the business school offering to take a semester with the Department of Theatre Arts in order to bring in new ideas from there. I know that as soon as I'm saying this, there are those who are thinking of 151 problems why it cannot be done in Nigeria, and I don't see why it cannot be done. Even if it is not done the way we do it, because what happens is that the department in which the person is going transfers money, and it's all nominal money. It's not real money. It's just from their budget. They transfer it to that. But at the end of it, both parties have something to show for that effort. I don't know how this is going to happen, but I am willing, if there is any opportunity to talk to university administrators, to share ideas with them, we can reform this thing, we can change, we can build, we can break the silos and get things going on a very small scale. Even if it cannot be done using professionals from the different schools, it is also possible to use professionals from the professional organizations. So having said that, what goes next? And I hope that the Arts Alliance, I hate to preach to the choir, and you would pardon me if you've already put this into gear, is since some of these things will be digital, is to make sure you collect enough end user data to be able to present either to your sponsors or to participants in the next one about how many participants came, where they came from. All these analytics are there. Any website designer can get you this analytics, and these are very important data that should run from year to year. Even if not shared, we need to know that. And I was saying to Shegun the other time, Shegun or somebody who can help Shegun, we need to have a round table with the community business people, the small scale business people. They need to be invited, especially to some kind of engagement or teach in how some of the things they do impact on the festival is having, how the festival is impacting on the community, and we need data. We are in the realm of empirical driven conversations. We have left that era of emotions, that era of saying, we're doing this, you should come. There's nobody who should do anything. They all benefit from it, but they do not even know that they're benefiting from it. These are just some of the few points I would like to share, and I'll be willing to speak more to it if it's possible. Thank you very much.
I think this idea of the engaging the community is very important because, as I said, some years ago when I attended this same, was it the opening or so? I heard what that woman said, that no, the money we make from this festival help us to pay school fees, and another one was saying, no, I use the money to help my family. But so they don't see beyond that. That they just make money. What do they contribute to? Maybe I'm sounding commercial now, but what do they bring to the table apart from putting your wares out there for people to just buy? If the festival is that important, you should be able to buy. To make some contribution, not in terms of money, but maybe in terms of service or ideas and the rest of them. Well, we're still on Culture Train on Spirit of Nigeria Radio, and we're more or less like coasting home now, where we'll be asking some specific questions. But I would like to ask other members of the Art Alliance 51 if they have any contribution to make before we move on to going towards the wrap? I can see my body, Adewale Maja Pierce, the big masquerade in the background. How are you, sir?
I'm fine, thank you. Well done.
Yeah, thank you very much for coming. Yes.
Yeah, pleasure,
Yeah.
pleasure.
I don't know how much of
Always.
what we were saying you have caught, but we've been talking about how to bring the art together, what Art Alliance is trying to do through Art Horizon.
Yeah.
That whether it is really possible or whether it is something that is feasible. I'd like to have your opinion on that, if you don't mind.
So it's both possible, it's feasible and possible. It will
Okay.
happen, I'm sure.
Okay. But you know, when you operate in an environment like ours that looks like everything is so difficult, that it's so difficult for people to even have a genuine conversation because of the stress of living, I mean, when you have gone out once, you don't want to go back to your home and say. But we've been told about the example of a Universal Art Studio. Universal Art Studio in a National Theatre. And you've heard of experiences from Ibadan and all those other places. How come that it's not possible to converge in Surulere, for instance, and have life in spite of COVID?
Moving around in Lagos is a problem.
Okay, moving around Lagos is a big problem, honestly. Anyway, I know we have some other members of Art Alliance there. Juliet, you want to help me with any one of, because I see names there, but I don't know.
Kaluche is
there's
there.
Godwin. Okay, Kaluche.
Yeah, Kaluche.
I'd like to hear from you. Kaluche, Godwin Okondo. Hello, Kaluche.
Uche Kalu Karis. Well.
Hello.
May I please ask a question then, if no one is coming on immediately?
Okay, yes. Okay. Kalu, I was trying to get, you are participating in the Art Horizon, and I wanted to know what your role will be and what we should expect, and what's your belief or your conviction about the Art Horizon and Art Alliance as platform that could help to, what do you see to the future of this venture?
I think Malara Wood should ask her question now.
Oh, okay. You have a question, Malara?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Go ahead, please. Go ahead. I didn't see
yes,
that.
it's a three-pronged question to Juliet Ezenwa Pierce. And it is, what sparked this idea to start this festival to begin with? And then what are the plans to ensure that this continues, that it's sustainable into the future? And, where's the, I think it's at the National Museum, is it? And what informed the choice of the venue? So what led her to think up this idea for this festival? Why did she think it was necessary? And what are the plans to make it sustainable into the future? And what informed the choice of venue? Thank you.
Okay, I'm going to do my best. I cannot confidently say I have all the answers, but I'm going to give you the answers that I have. Okay, I have been practicing as a full-time artist for the better part of 30 years. As a matter of fact, this year I am putting a book together to commemorate my 30 years of studio practice. And I belong to almost all the artist groups or society associations. Every time we gather together, someone will find a way to bring up the topic of what can we do to help our industry. We've tried many different methods and many have failed. And I consider myself to be in a position where, having experienced so many that failed, having started many myself that failed, we decided perhaps if we coined it differently and in this manner and as a charity, perhaps it would work. And so this too is one of our many try. The good thing about this one is we are not alone in it. We have many experienced hands. We have other associations, other creative branches who have teamed up with us. And we are more determined to ensure that it works. And above all, control of it is in our hands. So, and because we are the organizers ourselves, we are not looking beyond ourselves. We are not looking to the government to provide money. We are not pursuing sponsors everywhere. We are looking at our own individual pockets. And so we have developed an event and a program that we can sustain by ourselves without outside help. And so we hope that we can, develop a system that we can keep using. We've chosen the National Museum. It is easy to access. It is within our budget. We could have chosen a bigger place, but it will be beyond our budget. And then the event is delayed again because we've been trying for many years to do this. And I believe that if we start small and keep it within our reach, it can be sustainable for a longer term. And so that is the plan. That is it. We do not have any sponsor as I speak to you today. What's the other question?
I think you've answered all three. I think you've actually put them all together. And thank you so much for the eloquent answer. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Well, thank you very much. We're still on Culture Train, now on Spirit of Nigeria Radio, where we bring Nigerians and African diaspora up to speed. And we're engaging the Art Alliance 51 members who are organizing the Art Arising late August. Is it August 26th, Juliet?
August 21st to
August
September 3rd.
Okay, August 21st to September 1st. When Art Arising will be third.
Yes, of September.
August 21st to September 3rd. It will be happening
14 days,
14 days of thrilling art will be happening at the National Museum, Unicon in Lagos. But then it will also be online too. And I've been told, apart from visual art, we're also going to have poetry that will be streaming live there. Some live poetry too will happen. And we're looking at how this kind of festival can help to ginger the society for the advancement of the society. So thank you very much, everyone who is there. We have just 10 minutes now, and I want to see how we can share between Shegwadefla. He told me that I was going to go into rehearsal. Let me check if it's back here, because the question I would like to ask is it possible, for instance, in terms of the prospect of collaboration that we talked about, for an EKO theater carnival to happen side by side at Alliance? In which case, we could say two venues that we're linking them up. Dr. Adeyemi, is that possible? Or Shegun Adefila, are you there?
It's very, very possible. I mean, that's what we should be doing. We should be having, I've gone for festivals where there are about 3-4 festivals linked together.
Okay.
I mean, this is where the more the merrier makes sense.
So in doing that, how do you, well, you have to bring your own concept and idea, and then you have to collapse into another person's ideas and concept. You think it's possible?
Yes, the question of creating harmony. So, for instance, our thematic concern for this year's festival is about climate change and waste management, for instance. So if there's any other theme from another festival, we can just harmonize all together. So the festival speaks to so many issues that concern us as a people. So it's possible.
Okay. So anyway, Art Alliance, we've listened to that. So is it a possibility?
It is possible.
Okay. So, but anyway, don't let me be the John provocateur. Mara, correct my French, please. Is that what you said?
Provocateur.
Professor Shoyinka one day, somebody stood in his front and said, agent provocateur. He said, no, agent provocateur. I said, what kind of wahala be this? Why don't I just speak my English? Why are you trying to? So, Dr. Adeyemi,
Yes, sir.
let me leave the bigger question I wanted us to address, and if you can do that in about 3 or 4 minutes. Art for societal advancement. I'm very, I like all these big concepts.
Big grammar.
Yeah, big grammar and big concepts.
Yeah.
Because we've been professing the art for decades. But if you check, I don't know whether I'm pessimistic, I hope you are listening to me. The art does not seem to be making
I am listening.
I'm not sure. Yeah, thank you. I'm not sure the art is really connecting. As I said, to take you from the simple point, look at what is happening in Nigeria. How much of this is art capturing? Visual arts, literature, poetry, and the rest of them. But that in other climes, this thing is generating. If something is happening, it's generating its own literature. Look at even books on Bring Back Our Guests. 3 books have been published by people who are not from here, who just were living just in this environment. They've written books and co. People have done painting, they've done films and co. So I'm just wondering.
Look at the Benin, the hot burner issue of the Benin bronzes. The books are all by white people. They're not by Nigerians. You go to a place like Oshogo, you go and look at all the books written. They're mostly by Europeans. So
what's the problem? Yeah, no, you're right.
I think I need to come in here, because let's not privilege. Yes, books are permanent, and it's cultural. It is when you look at it, the beginning of it, the whole idea of the print capitalism is located in the West. But for us here, we have an oral tradition. All of what you're saying is actually making the rounds in various circles. There are times when we tend to compare ourselves with the West, but we do not compare the pillage of the West, how much they were able to steal from others to be able to do what they're doing. Yes, you're talking about, I am telling you, if you monitor what Wole Agba is doing, all of the issues that you're saying is entering into his works. It is, if you like me attend the pepper soup joints, people are talking about it. Yes, I agree with you. We're not capturing it in the written form. It's
not just written form, even in theater, in poetry, and the rest of them.
I am sure the thing about, you see, the best thing about the African continent is what Dr. saying there, Adigbede calls the cultural self-defense. Because a lot of people, how long did it take the West to understand what was happening in Nollywood? How long did it take sociologists to be able to encapsulate Nollywoodization? And what does Nollywoodization mean? It is a theory that can be applied in any part of the world. And what does it mean? Nollywoodization means that the people rise up to produce what they want without the enabling environment of their government. This is ours. We created it, though it took somebody to articulate it. But I am telling you, my brother, we might not be publishing, because in the first case, even when we publish it, who is going to read it? We do not have the enabling environment. Prince is telling you that he doesn't have power. Who reads with the candlelight in 2021? We don't have the wherewithal to read the books. And the education we have and the encoding we do in the books are never for the general populace. It is either for promotion or it is for self-aggrandizement. So let us in fact come back to Adefila. Let Adefila in his daily theater news, what he does, because really what Adefila does is like what you were doing in Guardian on Sunday. He puts in the ideas there and he mediates it and people begin to hear it. We need more of those community-based things. Both of us have discussed this idea. Theater at the community level, theater at the state level, theater at the national level. We need these conversations. We need this Abegi parliament. We need the forums of this world to constantly debate, discuss. And the more we do it, the more it takes away, or the more it adds to the finding of solution. You asked a question, is theater really making an impact? Okay. What saying the Angribede would tell you if he was going to answer that is that, German, you are asking a question too soon. Okay. You are asking a question too soon because the effect of theater sometimes is not immediate. The effect of literature or a poem is not immediate. Sometimes it takes generations. But I know that from your days as a Marxist and a revolutionary, German used to be a revolutionary. If you people don't know, he was somebody who really wanted change, you know. But age has also tempered his demand on society. He is angry. You can hear it in him once in a while.
Okay, German.
My lawyer will write you. Okay. Let me give the last word to Dr. Adeyemi.
Can I come in there? Yes.
Yes, please. Although we are running out of time, we have just 2 minutes.
I don't know if I can quickly talk about apathy and on the part of those who are ruling this country. They deliberately gave, of course, we know that oil and some of these other things generate some money for them. That's what they think. But the arts, particularly all the areas, entertainment and all that, will generate double what this our oil is giving us. And it's not going to cost us less. I mean, it got so much. Now, because of that, they put wrong administrators in their culture ministries. And so they don't even know what to do. They put in a lawyer or whatever. I'm not saying lawyers they don't know, but they will still need to come to us and ask and learn. So it's unfortunate that we'll be having this year in, year out. Now, unfortunately, again for us, NGOs in culture, in the culture areas, you know, they are actually non-existent for now. You know, I wouldn't know even if Cora is even still on board.
Yeah.
Cora is alive, but you know,
it is COVID.
Like Kole Adeotola said, maybe age is setting up on those. So we have a problem. But art for societal advancement. In this Art Arising festival, there are some packages. For instance, on September 1, that's on a Wednesday, we're going to have education discourse. And that educational discourse is, we found out that there is a low enrollment for visual art in unfortunately, even but somebody was pointing to me yesterday or day before yesterday. Lagos State government advertised for teachers, and fine and creative art or whatever, they're not there at all. No, they don't need that teacher. They needed the teachers of physics, this, that, the creative art and this thing that they would teach in the secondary school. They don't advertise for it. So how can we incorporate all this in the culture and arts of our dear country? So we are coming up with this education. So it's not going to be a summit. It's going to be just a discourse. Aziz is going to be the chairman of that. That's the provost of College of Education. He's going to be the chairman of that event. We're going to have discussants, Dr. Koshala Ogunfuwa. We're going to have education, WAEC representative. We're going to have NECO representative. We are going to have Lagos State representative, the technical vocational area director. We're going to have all of these people so that we can discuss. And then at the end of the day, we have something to put down, and then issue out a communique that this is the problem we have in for people to come in today. Now, if you know before, when we're doing fine art in secondary school, in your school you would stay there and you do. Today, maybe in 2 local governments, they'll just match all the students together, you know, and they just do maybe about 6 or 7 of them, because WAEC is thinking that we can't be wasting resources on these courses. Are we going to block these courses? out of this. So it's a problem, sir. So we are advocating that we should let people know that there's a problem. And so this festival is not only for jamboree, it's for some serious discourse in our sector. And I pray that by the time we finish it up, we can actually advance the course of this project more.
Thank you very much, Dr. Adeyemi. And that's where we're going to hang it because we just run out of time. You've been on Culture Train on Spirit of Nigeria Radio, and discussion today has been like, if I like this kind of seminar that brings, when we can speak dispassionately, we talk about the problem that we're having and how we can get to start working on some solutions. So it's a discussion in progress. It's an action in progress. And we wish Art Alliance a great Art Rising Festival. This is your debut, and we hope that the next one will be better. And for EKO Theatre Carnival that has been on, we'll be joining you from Monday. I would like to be at the seminar and the rest of them, and we'll help to continue to propagate it. All this information will be on the website of Spirit of Nigeria Radio, which is broadcasting actually to the world, to the Nigerians and Africans in diaspora. But thank you very much, everyone who has been part of this. We appreciate your presence. Marara Wood, thank you again for always coming around to rescue. What you have done is a rescue. Thank you all the speakers. Shegun Adefila, thank you. Taye Erewele, thank you. Say Jazan, I should have asked you to do a poetry for me, but don't worry. Let me let you go and rest. Juliet, thank you. Of course, we know the load that Juliet is carrying. This is a powerful thing that you're doing for all of us. And Dr. Adeyemi, thank you. Kaluche, Dr. Kole Adeoditola, thanks for also coming in to always set some kind of template for discourse. It's true, I was angry. I was, because I'm a bit perplexed, actually. There are all these things that we're doing. We're all going into strolling towards our last bus stop now, and we don't seem to be seeing anything. It's the hush puppy and the big Cubanas and the who are getting the. Maybe I'll go and make friendship with them. Anyway, thank you very much. Do have a pleasant night. Thank you. Goodbye. Thank you.